It is still the start of a new year, so I thought this would be a good time to do another Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram if you had any questions for this edition. I received a lot of interesting ones, so let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk It Over. Between color and black and white photography, what is your favorite film? That's easy. For color, my favorite film stock is definitely Portra 800. I also really like Portra 400. I feel like that Portra 800 has grain, contrast and colors that are more to my taste. For black and white, I've been shooting a lot of Ilford HP5, pushing that bad boy to 1600 because I really think that brings that film to life. I also like Kodak Tri-X, but at box speed, because it already has a lot of contrast. Shot some Tri-X on medium format just the other day. What are your thoughts on editing your film photos? I think that everyone is always editing their film photos. If you are scanning the work, putting it through Lightroom or any software that converts your negatives to positive, then you're editing. If you do it the old school way and go into the darkroom, print the work through an enlarger, you are also practically editing your work. So I don't feel any kind of way, to be honest. But if you are using AI to include a mountain in a New York City cityscape, that might be a little bit too much to me. How and when did you get into photography? And when did you get into shooting on film? Well, I don't want to sound corny, but I've been photographing since I could grab a camera. The first camera that I got was given to me by my grandparents, and that is this Minolta film camera, which was pretty cool at the time because it could shoot panoramas, and I think I was around the age of 5. After that, I played around with a lot of different cameras, and when digital became the standard, of course, I moved on to that. When I had to decide what I was going to do with my life, I made the decision to go to school for photography and after that start my own business. Always shot a little bit of film during the time, but in the last maybe 5 years, I've been almost exclusively shooting film again. What is your favorite Leica lens? I don't own any Leica glass myself, but I really want to see how the Summicron 35mm feels. I'm not replacing or switching up my Voigtlander soon because I'm really impressed by the quality of these lenses, which are the Voigtlander Ultron 35s. Do you ever think about going digital? I enjoy the way of shooting film way too much, so I don't really want to switch. But I do think that film someday will be either way too expensive or not available at all. Then of course I have no other choice to go digital, and I'll accept it at that point. But until then, I will stay strong on the film side. If I would need to go digital, then I probably would keep it as close as I got right now. So that would mean a Leica M-body, preferably without a screen. But we will see if they still make those at that time. Would you guys still follow me if I shot digital? You've showed a couple of different medium format cameras on your stories. Are you switching to 120 film? You've been paying attention. No, I love 35mm film, but for some situations I rather shoot 120 or medium format film. Most likely for portraits or landscapes. I have been using my RB67 for that. Well, at least for portraits, because I'm not dragging that massive beast around when I'm traveling. So I thought it would be a great idea to test out some different medium format cameras to see which one would fit my style the most. And of course, I'm taking you guys with me during this whole journey, so stay tuned for that. I think that those episodes are going to be great and interesting for those who are also looking for a medium format camera. If you could pick one medium format camera, which one would it be and why? Let me know in the comments down below. A really quick message. If you didn't know, I've got my own print shop on my website. So if you are looking for a beautiful print that would fit nicely on your wall, go check it out. Link is down in the description. Free shipping worldwide, so don't worry about any extra cost at checkout. Thanks for sticking with me. Let's get back into the episode. How do you make people comfortable when taking their photo? This is a good question, but also pretty hard to give you a direct solution. But in my situation, I don't think about it too often. Because I always carry my camera around my neck, people instantly know that I'm a photographer. I'm not trying to hide it, so that way people are less shocked when you take a picture of them. Also, if you know these people for a while, they'll get used to it, and maybe at some point they'll not even notice it anymore. But I think that making people aware that you are a photographer helps out a lot. Also, keep smiling and don't be weird about it, and you'll be fine. For a lot of people, it's unnatural to have their photo taken, so totally comfortable with it is not for everyone. Therefore, don't worry about it too much. If somebody really doesn't like it, then just leave it. Is the film stock crisis finally over? In my region, it seems like it, yes. Every store that I walk into, there is film on the shelves. Even Kodak Gold in 35mm is available everywhere. And that film stock disappeared for a good while. And I'm very happy about that, because I remember the feeling when I was running out of film and had to order from a couple of different stores if they had any at all. But the prices have increased too, and they will increase again this year. I think that is the trade-off there, but at least we can buy some. But this is in my region. Are there still people having problems with finding their film stocks? How do you describe your style of photography, and how do I describe mine? I just document life as I see it. I'm not really all about putting labels on photographers, because I think that will be very limiting. But if I had to say something, I think my style is a bit of a documentary type of style. Yeah. If you are really looking for a way to describe your style, and I understand because I also get this question a lot, but I would keep it as broad as possible. But also definitely don't limit yourself by saying you have a type of style. If you could only photograph one subject, what would it be? I think it would be documenting the life with my family. To me, those pictures have so much meaning, and therefore I would never stop doing it. And also the reaction when you hand out those photos or they see the photos in the yearbook is priceless. This is something that I would gladly look back at in the years to come. After 30 years, there will be a pile of books that would describe every big moment in our lives. Going back into that memory lane will be magical, I think. And that wraps up the most frequent or interesting questions. But there was another one that popped up a lot, and that was, what do you bring with you on a daily basis? Well, I've got a full episode about my everyday carry in 2024. I'll link it down below so you guys know exactly what I bring with me as my EDC. Thanks guys for sending in the questions and watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. But for now, I'm out. See you next week. Peace.